bit that I don't usually show you. But hang on for a second, I'll just move it like this. Excellent. Hello, it's Dr. Phil here. Just putting up a sign. Let me just finish it off. I don't have my feather pen at the moment. Feels very play school, doesn't it? So it's like, you know, do. Oh, hello. Welcome to play school. I was just doing nothing suspicious. Nothing at all. What? Scratching my nose is all I was doing. So I'm just drawing my thing. And then, like, if you're doing play school, you're kind of going drawing, drawing a thing, drawing. It's a silly song. A drawing, here comes a puppet. Drawing, because I have no imagination. Anyway. Okay, so just finishing writing this. You see, kids at play school, we need to do adult things sometimes. Then I'm learning how to sign right. So there we go. There's the P done. Did you know that there's a P in the alphabet? That's right. There's also an S and an N. Very good. And an O and a T. That's true. Can we sing the alphabet song? Because I certainly aren't. There we go, nearly done. I had to just make sure that the letters were crystal clear. I already done the letters once, but just needed to make sure that I went over them again, because sometimes when you're writing a message, you really need to get the point across. So this is one of those times when you really gotta nail that signage. There we go, I think that's good. So I'll just put the thing here. Here we go. Got the sticky tape. Sticky tape. Scissors. Make sure you don't run with those. There we go. Get that done. Put that in there. Put that on the corners, kids, because if you don't put it on the corners, it's going to look like shit. All right, here we go. And then let's get my sign. Getting my sign and putting it up. Getting my sign and putting it up. There we go. Let's have a look at that sign. It's beautiful. Kids, do you want to see the sign? I think you do. I'll make the stupid head shaking thing. Are you sure you want to see the sign? Do you not want to see the sign? That means you want to see the sign. Oh, good on ya, little kiddies. So here we go. So we'll just flip over here. There we are. What does that say? Are we literate children? Taking a dump is not a team sport. G'day, reader. Just making sure that people understand the facts of life. So, yes, my day was interesting today. I had to remind my children of that. Anyway, moving on. What I've got here, I've got opal cutting going on. Oh, thank you. What I've got over here is another experiment. It's the same experiment as I did yesterday, but I've just improved it a little bit. So we're just going to have a quick look at how it goes. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Pop that there. Probably pop it like that. There we go. And now we can switch it all on. Turn off the lights. Can't read the sign anymore. Okay, here we go. So here we go. I have a bona fide laser back here. Tink on with the laser. Right, so I've got a dot here. Yeah, I said hello, didn't I? I'm sorry if I didn't. I was just busily sign writing. Okay, here we go. Bing. All right, not that one. Do this one. All right. So what have we got here? As you can see, it's clearer over there. It's clearer over there. Should we just do this? There we are. Look at that. That'll give us a good view. No, stay. You know, you always try your best with these things. You try your best, and sure enough, something will come in and stop up the drain. So let's go and find another piece of black material. Back of the laptop, getting desperate. So let's go here. There we go. Now we've got all of our spectral lines sorted out. Okay. That's all right. You don't have to apologise for watching my channel. I'm very happy you're watching my channel. Okay, so here's the deal. You can see that what we've got here is if we remove this, and that essentially is a poor man's double slit experiment. And that's done with lasers and stuff. Basically, you're seeing a little bit of a scatter pattern around about the laser dot. And what you do with that is you get a polarizing filter like this. And I'll just nick this one from a TV. So that goes there, and then all of a sudden, an interference pattern happens over here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get this to work. I'll pop this over here like so. Is it going to stay? Is it going to stay? No, it's not. But I can do it like this. Okay. There we go. So there's our interference pattern. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to move this laser forward a bit. If the interference pattern changes, science is wrong. Yeah, the interference pattern changed. Therefore, science is wrong. Basically, what they say is that this polarizing filter, acts essentially as a detector. And I think we've got an even better piece of evidence here. Hang on. Hang on, just checking. Okay, moving it forward again. I'm not sure what that is. I'll show you this. This is scatter pattern here. But you can see it's kind of spreading out and not spreading out. Basically what you're seeing is evidence that the light waves themselves are rotating. So it's not being detected, so to speak, like they always say in the physics stuff. It's actually rotating. You can literally see it rotating too. That's cool. See that? Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So there you go. Modern physics proved wrong. I better write a paper on that. So light is actually a rotational wave from the looks of things. Right. Now, ordinarily, I don't necessarily do science experiments, although I do have a PhD. But it's a soil science PhD. It's got nothing to do with physics and stuff. It's just, if you do science, then you kind of learn how to do the science. Right. Before we do anything, we'll say hello to the birdies. I might even turn the light on. See, we'll go and do the opals, and it'll be way too late to say hi to the birds after that. So, want a scratchy poo? Oh, you want a scratchy poo? There you go. Hello there, Usha. There you go. Max is very tired. He just wants to go to sleep. He's an old man, you see. Well, thanks for the like, whoever did that. Science is the best. I think that one of the things about science is it's underrated. We could have saved an awful lot of trouble with all that COVID nonsense if we'd have done our science correctly. It's not just a case of do your research like the anti-vax people would say. It's like really do your research, as in understand the scientific method. But, you know, politics happens to get in the way sometimes. I'll give you a hint. If people are treating it like a political issue, no, it's a virus. Can't do that. But there are other scientific issues as well. Oh, Loki's loving that. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. You can't bite me for stuff I didn't mean to do. There we go. All right. Right, let's get on to the opals, because this is actually an opal channel. It's not a cockatoo channel, not a science channel, not a stupid sign writing channel. We better say hi to Pony though. Hello, Pony. Hello, Pony. Have you messed up your cage again? I'll change your stuff. There we go. You are. Good little birdie. Birds are the best. Science is the best. All of it is the best. Ugh. Here we go. Now, I have done an awful lot of thinky worky work over here. Hopefully it'll all work, because I worked on the work. So here is the apparatus. You'll notice it if you are regular to the channel. You'll realise that it's actually a lot brighter here, and that's no coincidence. I've worked hard on making it a lot brighter. You see, I have to make it bright to reflect the intellect of the people who watch my channel. Isn't that so sucky yuppie? There we go. That will get there eventually. Right. Yep. Yoink. Quickly just get that done. 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 And I can do this now too, which means that we get even more light attacking the whole thing. I get to see exactly what's going on. I might even get the magnets out now, but not. So, we have this now, and it works, which is kind of cool. Let's give it a test. Water on. Very Celine Dion effects. Hang on. Still a bit, my heart will go on, so what I'll do is I'll just spray the front. I don't like spraying the front because the residue takes ages to clean up, to evaporate. That's better. That's looking much better, much clearer radar. Now, go and focus, you silly thing. Right. Now, bearing in mind science is the best, let's get cracking. What I'm hoping is that with this new rig, we can actually, it's just a lighting rig, it's not a new rig per se. You should be able to see the colours. What I'll do is I'll grab something colourful and we'll see in just a minute. First things first, testing this, I think. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a stunt Opal. This will be an interesting test. So hopefully this Opal will bear results. Okay, so there's something being delivered here. I'm not sure what that thing is. I'm not sure that I kept the receipts either, so let's have a look. Okay, so this Opal has just the tiniest amount of colour on it. I'm going to have a look on the phone in a second to see if we can detect that colour. If we can detect the colour, then we win. I'll do it in raw format first, and then I'll turn on the I've got colour button. We seem to all rely on nowadays with our telephones and our AIs and our internets and other things. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the colour, and that is very faint, so good. We finally gotten ourselves something awesome. Let's have a look at some of yesterday's Opals. See what that one does. Yeah, not too bad. Let's turn the colour enhancement on. Yeah, it's alright. Not great, but not terrible. Don't expect this to be a colourful opal, we're just testing it. There we go. Alright, let's have a look at what we've got here in our little bag of tricks. See what this opal does. This is an interesting one. This one isn't necessarily colourful, it's just Cubopedia's got this black matrix on it. So let's see what it does. And yes, I do believe it actually is a matrix, like Anamuka. Basically, matrix is just like a bunch of sand that is hardened, forms like pores within the rock itself. So that's what people are talking about when they're talking about matrix. They're not talking about a movie with Keanu Reeves. Well, not usually anyway. Only if the black cat goes across twice. Alright, so that's just... Weirdly, I'm just remembering The Matrix, the movie, that bit where Neo gets the bug installed in his belly. Alright, so I was able to practice my skills of making cabs, but there wasn't anything particularly impressive about that. I can't see any colours, so what you see is what you get. What does the camera say? Camera is not lying, completely white. I was hoping there'd be more. What we'll do here is we'll take the sand off the back and see what's underneath it. These ones, they're always risky, but sometimes you get a pleasant surprise. Hoping for one now. If not, I've got a few other ones which have got more guaranteed colours sitting in them, so we'll move to them. But that sound is quite promising. I usually associate the sound that's making at the moment with some good quality colour. Okay, so you just said this is a Cubopedia stone. Just go and have a quick look at the stone itself and see if there's any colour in it. Not as yet, but that may change. Now, it might just be ridiculous false hope, but I am quite hopeful about this stone, just from the way it's sounding. I've got plenty of opals that I could sit here and randomly cut if I wanted to, but this one I think it's kind of good. Alright, cut it off here. Just cutting the crack off. That also gives a chance to have a look deep into the stone. We'll see. Check out underneath there. Could be directional. I sometimes wonder whether all opals have got colour. It's just the direction that's the issue. Nothing. Okay. No more Mr. Nice opal cutter. We've got to find a nice little stone. Perhaps that one. Alright. Another Cooper stone. Will this one yield? We don't know. So I saw some evidence on the side that made me happy to say that it probably will have something. Once again, this is not a game of absolutes, it's always a game of chance, like a lotto ticket every time. That was annoying. That was my... Definitely going to be an opal with colour stone, that one. Just in case things went a little bit awry. But don't worry, I've got another one here. It's just a bit chancier. This one here has got colours in it. It's just they're very, very small stones. So we'll see what we can do with that one. Well, there you go. That's as much as I dare. I don't think it's particularly big. Just quickly go to my awesome stones of great and awesome. Awesome stones of awesome. They're awesome, great and awesome. Awesome stones of awesome. They're awesome, great and awesome. Okay, finally, let's try this one. Tell you what, if I don't get any colour soon, I'm just going to start a fishing channel. Okay, so the choice to make here is to just cut it down the middle. Because you're never so truly desperate. This will make a nice pair of earrings or something. Even a pair, not a pair. Oh, you can have a pair of earrings. So I was wondering whether that was going to fly out of my hand. Oh, 7 people. Hello, 7 people. Oh, 7 and 1 like. Good. Thank you for liking, whoever that was. There we go. There's a little bit of a defect underneath there. I'll hunt that down later. Let's have a look at this other one. See if we can get something nicer out of it. A little bit of colour and probably a crack. Not exactly the bestest of stones, but better than some of the ones that I've had recently. Oh, this one's I know this sounds like sacrilege, but I think it's the best way. There we go. And I was right. Had to cleave that bit off. Yeah, it will eventually resolve. Let's see if we can get it to work a bit better than that. Be strategic about what we preserve. may want to, yeah, make it a bit smaller because I think it has to be. There we go, tiny little drop shape. I'll do that on the bot drop later. It's getting too small to do properly. Where's the other bit that I've put down? Let's see if we can do something with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this material like it is because I think it'll be easier than doing what I just did with the other one. This is essentially the white cap of a knobby from the looks of things. I have to cut through that. There we go. Nice little bit of colour there. Look at you. Let's see if we can take a chance with this one. For the moment I thought I was never going to get colour. That would have been annoying. Well, it's a crystal opal. There's a little bit of colour in it, but not much. I think I'm going to not bother with that one. This colour is, believe it or not, slightly orange. A bit unusual. Doesn't owe me anything, so I'm just going to slice it in half because it's not really that colourful anyway. No? Okay. Right. That'll do it. Okay. Finally, a little bit of colour. A bit misshapen, but not too bad. Bit of a drop. Bit of colour. We'll get better. We'll get better colour than that. That's why I didn't particularly worry too much about the colours, the defect there. I thought, well, I'm just going to quickly burn through them and see what they look like, and if they're any good, I'll polish them up later. We can just examine the stones at the moment. What I'm doing is I'm starting to look at every angle to this stone to see if there's anything. There is the slightest of blue colours, not good enough to put into a gem. If it comes down a bit, yeah, sure. But not at the moment. So you can see that just slight hint of blue. Wouldn't mind it coming out a bit better than that. Yeah, there's a bit of green in there too. There's a bit of white, bit of blue, bit of green. You know, I might keep that one going just because it's a little bit intriguing. We'll have a look at it in the sunlight, I reckon. I'm going to suggest that this isn't everybody's cup of tea, this stone, but holds a bit of interest to me, so I'm not saying it's going to become an amazing stone or anything, but it's just something interesting about it. So there, it's got a little bit of colour in it. Maybe in the sunlight it'll be good. But so far, tell you what, not exactly a great set of colours thus far. Sorry about that, guys. Can't win them all is what they say. This is the remains of a knobby, I can tell, and that's the white cap that I'm cutting off. So it's not exactly sand, not exactly not sand either. Bit flew into my eye, and my eye is having a great deal of difficulty telling the difference between that and sand. Don't think there's much here. Drag out a matrix, I think. The Van Mooker. Yes. Oops. That's a chunk of wood opal, I think. There's the wood there. Alright, just move this back on. And then we'll grab a bit of moo-moo. We'll see what I mean in a minute. And a Mooka matrix. Now, your love or hate of this opal is entirely dependent on perspective. There are people who've had this sold to them because it's what they call a treated opal. They've had it sold to them and they've passed it off as genuine lightning ridge or something like that, which it is not. It's a beautiful opal in its own right, but it's not a lightning ridge opal. Hear them? There we go. Bracketed. Don't worry, I'll pick up that other bit later. It's a bit too big to work on anyway. Hello. I'm doing alright, and no, it's not my full-time job. It's a hobby. There's an Anamuga matrix. That's ready to be docked. Ah. So I can find, yep. How long I've been for? 59.12. Alright, time to try and find the Magnum Opal now. Because I like staying alive. There's this thing called silicosis. Basically, if you cut an opal dry, the powder gets into your lungs, silicon gets into your lungs, so you die a slow, horrible, hideous death. So I put all things together and I'm like, nah, don't want to do that. I've noticed, yes, it's 1 AM here in Australia as well. I live in Sydney. Yeah, I'll be finishing this off very soon. I started at 12. Good night, mate. I think there's a crack in this one. Just try and get the crack off. Nah, it's not gonna play ball. Chucking it. Let's grab a few of these. All I'm looking for is one of those beautiful little opals that'll just shimmer and shine and fill us all with love and happiness. Oh, here we go. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's Maybelline. I think this will be the last opal, but don't worry, there'll be about 2 or 3 minutes of just making sure the birds are all right. And I'll give Pony a bit of a splat before we go tonight. but not bad. Blue with just the tiniest hint of green. Not exactly gem quality, I reckon, but that might change. Cool. Just letting D on to you. Yep. Not terribly huge colour, but not uncoloured. So there you go. Let's do that last little bit on the back just to see if that grey goes away. I don't think it does. Doesn't matter. Alright. So that might turn into colour later on. We're nearly done here. Let's just turn off the water. Water off. There we go. Zooming back out. Yoik. Ah, the ghostly image of Dr. Phil. Oh. Hey guys. Oh, what was that made of, Boney? Oh, okay. People are here. Hello, Boney. What? You got a scratch earlier. Yeah? Okay, hang on. Alright. Sorry. Scratchy? Okay. I think he's hungry. He's going, you know what? I want food and I want it now. I want food because I'm Mr. Max. Is that good? More? Okay. What do you reckon? More? Okay. There you go. That's enough. Nah, that's enough. Hey, Pony. What? Give me Loki some food. It's alright. Don't need to be hassled by you and Loki. It's alright, it's just a pigeon. Where's Pony? Hello, Pony. You're going to leave a deposit on the floor? Probably. Scratchy loose? Oh, well done. You can actually fly. Where did I put it there? Ah, there it is. Moonwalk time.
Can I give you a scratch back? Is there a problem?
Yes.
Is there a problem, Max?
I don't get enough attention, says Max.
Maybe don't put my feet on my street.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
The reason why Loki looks nonplussed at the food is that when I give her food by hand, it's usually seeds, not pellets. Pellets are like the gruel of the bird world. Very good for you, but not exactly exciting food. Not exactly easy to get to them, Loki. Got some pin feathers right up in her crest. If you're thinking, yay, I want a cockatoo, no you don't. They're messy, they're loud. They're beautiful to have, don't get me wrong, but the amount of work required is absolutely astounding. You're better off just watching them on YouTube. Right. I'll be back. Don't eat the pigeon, okay? Good. Hey, Pony. That's enough seed for all of them because they're only
The chicken that was in there, it was there for way too long.
It's only there for like 15 seconds.
That's been there for ages.
No, it hasn't. But that's all right.
Yes, it has. It's been there.
No, it's because it's I threw away the chicken you were talking about.
Oh well.
I replaced it with another chicken. But that was a few days ago, so that's all right. Look what I've got.
Because there's bacteria that can grow still in the freezer.
Yes.
And even when you cook it, the
Yeah.
shit
All good. Max is not trustworthy for hand feeding. Loki is. Pony is. Well, Pony's tried to hurt me. She just can't because she's a pigeon. What do you expect him to do? Alright, come here. Yoink. Hang on. Hang on. Alright, Pony's gone splat, and that means it's time to finish the stream. So like and subscribe on your way out if you enjoyed it. If you love my hair, no one does. I don't know why. Doesn't matter. Pony, what are you doing? Pony. Pony, 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 pony. Pony. Anyway, have a lovely evening, everybody. Dr. Phil out.